be coming down the road due to their poor diet, their poor lifestyles, their lack of nutrients, etc., etc. He's doing the bioassay, but he's taking the bioassay and he's levying it against the human being. Your liver enzymes are within the normal range, Mrs. Smith, but they're a little bit high. Do you have any problem with fried food? Yes. How did you know that, Dr. Nelson? Do you have a pain between your shoulder blades? Yes. How did you know that, Dr. Nelson? He's not a Swami. He's not Karnak.
Right.
He knows how to take objective information and levy it against symptoms. Learn how to talk to your patient. You know who the best diagnosticians in the world are?
Who's that?
Veterinarians.
Why is that?
Because their patients can't talk. Now, that's my opinion. I've been associated with veterinary medicine schools. I've been associated with human medicine schools, osteopathic medical schools, chiropractic colleges, and I find that the ones who know the most about nutrition and the most about how to make a diagnosis are veterinarians.
Okay, back to blood work. I mean, that's your expertise. You believe that the normal ranges, the standard ranges on this, on blood work all across the country are too broad. So what are you going to do about it? What can we do about it? Do you have to seek a physician or a health practitioner that knows about this kind of stuff?
Yes, that is exactly what you have to do. You have to seek someone like Dr. Nelson, who's trained in how to evaluate a chemistry from a subacute illness perspective or a developing illness perspective rather than a pathological perspective. Does that mean that
when you say subacute, you need to look earlier?
You need to look earlier for the changes before they get to the 5% on either end of that Gaussian curve. That, you know, this may all sound like some slam against the poor guy who's working, or the lady that's MD that's working in the emergency room or the HMO, etc., etc. These people are restricted on the amount of time that they can spend with a patient.
Yeah, 5 minutes, 7 minutes sometimes.
That's exactly right. Dr. Nelson is not. You certainly pay for his time, but you get the time, and people who practice like him have a better chance in finding out why your knees hurt, but nothing was discovered during the MRI.
Okay, tell me this, because we're running out of time.
Okay.
So, somebody watching this, they go to see their physician.
Right.
Their blood work is on the normal range.
Right.
They've got symptoms. For example, freezing in the morning. They're cold all the time. Their skin is having problems flaking out, but their blood work is fine. What do you say to that person?
I say you better investigate subacute hypothyroidism, because that same person who has...
But they did. My point is, they did, and they're fine.
They did the thyroid test, the blood chemistry, and the blood chemistry was normal. However, they didn't look at the parameters in relation to one another.
Too broad.
Well, they can be too broad, or they can be within the normal range, or even within what I would call the metabolic range.
But not normal for them?
But not normal for them. They can have a high thyroxine or a normal thyroxine and a low T3, which is triiodothyronine, which is the active molecule, and very, very seldom will an allopathic physician say, well, you've got plenty of thyroxine, but you're not converting it to the active molecule, which is triiodothyronine. Now, certainly, at best or at worst, they have a drug for triiodothyronine, Cytomel, which is T3. At best, that patient should be told some things to do. Increase your intake of iodine. Decrease your intake of crucible foods, because it blocks the conversion and the production of...
This is not being told to them every day?
No, it's not being told to them at all.
I got to go to a break. But are you telling me then with thyroid, is this a common problem? Are there people going or misdiagnosed, in your opinion?
According to Broda Barnes, who was, and if he's still alive, is the world's or the United States expert on thyroid hypofunction, 40% of the American population has undiagnosed or untreated hypothyroidism. It is a rampant problem in our society. And if you don't go to someone like Dr. Nelson, who's trained in the treatment of subacute...
Or a physician on the cutting edge.
On the cutting edge, that's exactly right.
That's not afraid to go outside the parameters.
That is exactly right. You will die with hypothyroidism.
Interesting. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Very interesting.
Thank